Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're actually going to be talking about Quant Networks, or QNT. Now this one is very interesting because I made a video on this when it was around $50 and it just suddenly blew up when QNT's price blew up, which is totally fine. I hope that anybody who did watch that video got in fairly early at those nice price targets. I know a few people who did, but overall, when we're talking about QNT's long-term growth, there is so much potential for this asset, not just from a circulating supply to, demand ratio, but I will talk to you guys a little bit about some more background information on this project. So we are going to refresh the market, check out what's happening. So we do see Bitcoin kind of just ranging here. I still think that we will see a slight pullback. Might even give you guys a better buy point on QNT, but we do see it sitting down here at about number 46, sitting at about a 3.5, almost $3.6 billion market cap. Now, the funny thing about that, right, is that in the last 3 months, I've seen the wallet addresses stacking up. I mean, we literally almost did a 2x from the current wallet addresses going all the way back to July. I totally forgot where the wallet address numbers were when I first made that video on QNT, but I know that we were at a significantly less number. Now we are seeing the total addresses sitting at about 34.2K, and the funny thing about that is that when we compare it to most assets, the addresses is just astronomically minuscule compared to most, but that's not the interesting thing. If we actually took the total addresses divided by the circulating supply, we're looking at about almost 352 QNT per address, which we do know that some addresses hold more. For an example, I think that this might be the team that holds 21%, but they're holding 9.5 million alone. All right, and when we're talking about the total supply, that leaves us with about roughly 5 million that could only be being held, right? Now that's roughly, of course, because it's actually around 7 million overall, give or take. But then we also see another million up here being held, and then from there, look at how many QNTs are being held by other accounts. So when we're talking about the circulating supply, there's not too much out there for you to actually be holding at this current moment. I think QNT is going to experience one of those short squeezes where there's not a lot of supply for the demand ratio, and we'll see a massive explosion in price. Now, I don't know when that's going to happen. Could happen this bull run, could happen, in time. I'm not going to, bet on that overall. But I will say this. When we're talking about QNT, we always look at what's happening behind the scene. First off, check out these team members, okay? We're seeing a MasterCard company of 13 years. We're seeing a degree module of DLT and cryptocurrencies at King's College London. There's pretty big names on the overall team here. But this guy stands out the most. Guy Dietrich, actually. Managing Director at Rockefeller Capital, Managing Director at Morgan Stanley Smith Barney for 26 years, over 35 years of experience investing for ultra-high net worth clients. What do you think that, why do you think he's on the team, right? Overall, when we're talking about a lot of these assets, right, it just takes 2 seconds. Just think for 2 seconds. That's all it should take. And that is exactly all it should take. First off, let's just compare the market cap of SHIB to QNT. QNT would be at $1,000. All right? That is absolutely nothing for what QNT is actually, trying to achieve. Now, let's look at this. Okay, QNT compared to Dogecoin's market cap, 2.3K. Now, of course, we already know that Dogecoin hit a lot higher in market cap value. I think it hit about $90 billion. Okay, and at $90 billion, we would be worth about $6.7 thousand per QNT. This is realistic. All right, and when we look at, Safer ADA currently, and we do know that ADA hit about roughly $100 billion in market cap. We could check out where that would be in regards to what our price would be, 7.4K. Now, of course, when we look at Bitcoin, okay, one QNT would be worth 77.5K. That is absolutely ridiculous. Ethereum, 30.5K. And this is the future, right? I know a lot of people think that this is hopium, whatever the case may be for QNT. But when you look at the long-term growth of QNT and you look at the things behind the scenes, which we're going to get into, it really isn't that unrealistic. First off, check out this. Not only can Overledger connect any blockchain to one another, but also any DLT, any jurisdiction, any protocol, any consensus, any system, any technology, any region, any industry. This is interoperability at scale. This is how you achieve mass adoption. And here you guys go, right? Look at this. This is absolutely crazy. Of course, shout out to Dread Bongo for this. But this is absolutely the way of when you're looking at like the future of scale for Web3 products, when we're looking at DLTs, we're looking at the future of all of these systems, these technologies of the fintech zone, financial zones, payment zones. This is the heart of all of it. This is the operating system for all future DLTs. Now, of course, we come over here. QNT has 33,275 wallets. What's funny about that, right? This was only 4 days ago. When we look at QNT now, we have 34,241. We are seeing this number go up day by day by day. And the more and more wallets that hold one QNT, the less and less supply there is. This is how that compares to other crypto projects. Like I was saying, BNB, 315,145 holders. Now, of course, the difference is that when we scroll up here to check out BNB, we do see that the circulating supply is a little bit more. Okay? But when you look into that in comparison to a lot of these other assets, we are extremely early. We still are. Is it still cheap? I mean, of course it is. I mean, if you look at it in the aspect of, could you afford to purchase one right now? Could you not? I think that we could see a little bit of a retest of a major support zone if Bitcoin does decide to pull back here. We could see, as low as $286 being tested, or even possibly $267, depending on if Bitcoin does correct deeply like we have been, waiting for. Now, I also want to give you guys a little bit of an insight on Alpha Sigma. Alpha Sigma Capital. Okay, here are some of the companies in their portfolio. We actually see ADA, we see Avi, we see Celsius, we actually see Coinbase as an exchange. We see DAG Constellation, which is a pretty big company. We actually see Decentraland or Mana, which we've talked about on this channel before. Polkadot, of course, Solana, and QNT. QNT operating system, the operating system for all DLT technologies in the future of a lot of this industry utilizing Overledger. Now, here is their overall approach to everything. Here's their about. Alpha Sigma Capital is pioneering digital asset fund focused on the blockchain economy and the shift to decentralized Web3 infrastructure. Well, wow, big surprise there. The fund invests in companies and decentralized projects that are leveraging blockchain technology to provide demonstrratable change and efficiency in financial services, artificial intelligence, supply chain, and biotechnologies. Here's our partners, right? Is partnered with leading firms around the world to help firms we invest in to distribute it globally and access more capital and strategic capabilities. ASC also leverages our global network of partners to help identify new opportunities for investment and growth. Big surprise there. Now, the best part about this is check out their team. Okay? Here is the biggest, this is the biggest part of this, right? Because we do see the ASC team consists of over 100 years of experience in strategic planning, trading, investing, and in innovation on Wall Street. At institutional firms such as NASDAQ, Capital Group, IBIS Management, the Riverside Company, and HIG Capital, combined with the top blockchain and entrepreneurial leaders, investors, and advisors from Asia, the Americas, and Europe. Just for an example, check out their CEO and Chief Investment Officer. Right? When we look at his bio, all right, he was the co-founder of NASDAQ Corporate Solutions, co-founder and chief strategy officer of 2 strategic M&A consolidations in the areas of investor relations. This guy's huge, guys. The correlations to a lot of these are absolutely crazy. He was also keen in consolidating over 10 service companies across 4 continents, representing over 5,000 public companies and raising in excess of $500 million. I mean, this is absolutely huge. And the team goes on with this, right? There's a lot of people on here that you could read more about. I mean, they're absolutely massive individuals within these spaces. And that's not even the best part. When we come down here, look at the advisors. A lot of these are, Stonecastle Financial Investment Banking and SPAC Advisory, Federal Home Loan Bank of SF. These are massive names within the financial sectors. And you could read their bio, of course, and really kind of look into what they have been doing. So when we're talking about the connections within the QNT ecosystem, do you honestly think that they're going to add QNT without seeing the possibilities of what QNT is actually going to be doing? This is the operating system for all distributed ledger technologies. This is the financial heart of Web 3.0 and the future of finance and the payment sector. I've discussed how we get there entirely through XRP, through HBAR, through a lot of these DLTs, what these DLTs are doing at scale. So when we talk about, the current price of QNT, I think it's extremely undervalued. And look at this massive bull flag that we've been printing all the way back to September 3rd. We pumped out, and then look at this massive consolidation that's happening. Just to give you guys an idea, right? We pumped out of, the summer all the way to about $185, consolidated, jumped out a little bit more up to almost $200, consolidated, and then boom, we rose in price. We exploded all the way up to $425. So when we're talking about right now QNT in regards to what's happening in consolidation, we could eye the next target of being $600 plus. So when we're talking about this, when we're talking about the future of QNT, all right, first off, there's exciting times ahead. Okay, there's going to be a lot of price appreciation happening for this asset in regards to supply and demand. And when we're talking about QNT being leveraged in all of these sectors and the future of what QNT could look like, well, I give you guys this, 30.5K or 77.5K. It's way bigger than Bitcoin. It's way bigger than Ethereum. And when this actually gets scaled, when this gets to the point of being fully at scale, that's going to be an absolute massive price appreciation target per QNT. And this is the way. This is the end goal. Okay, and this is at $1 trillion. Just imagine when we're at 10, right? When we're at $10 trillion for this asset. Look at the price. And the reason why I say that we could be worth $10 trillion, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen tomorrow, next week, next year, the year after that. No. I'm saying when this is fully leveraged, when this is fully doing the job that it's supposed to be doing, when we talk about connecting all of this, it's the operating system at the heart of Web 3.0, connecting all DLT technologies together. When we're talking about consensuses, industries, regions, all of this hand in hand, we're talking about trillions to quadrillions of dollars flowing over the Overledger network, right? Because it's connecting everything. It's the operating system of Web 3.0, which is also a $140 trillion network, or I shouldn't say network, market at scale. They've already discussed multiple times. I've actually done a video on that. So when we're talking about that, QNT being worth $10 trillion, absolutely nothing. All right. And even if we get to $11 trillion or $12 trillion or 13, 14, look at that. At $14 trillion, we'd be worth $1 million per QNT. And a lot of people think that this is unrealistic, but when you even look at, what's been happening in the past, right? We look at, assets like, Apple, right? When you want to invest in Apple or Amazon, okay, their market caps are in the trillions of dollars plus. These are just overall distribution companies. These are product companies that don't provide immense value like QNT is doing, or like any DLT, or overall when we talk about a lot of the crypto assets in the space, you can't really compare stocks to crypto because these are real life projects that could potentially reshape the entire future of finance and payments and everything, right? So when we're talking about $14 trillion for QNT, that's going to be leveraged throughout this entire space as the main operating system for Web 3.0 assets, and also not only Web 3.0 assets, but DLT sectors that spread out into trillions of dollars per year. That's the end game. You can't put a value on that. That is why I always say QNT could be potentially worth $1 million at some point in time. People think that Bitcoin, right? Let's go to Bitcoin. People think that Bitcoin will be worth at some point in time, $1 million, all right? Just to give you guys an idea, All right. First off, at $20 trillion, we're worth 1.1. Okay. At, let's just say 19 trillion, we'd be worth $1 million. At $19 trillion in market cap, and people still think that this is going to happen. I mean, maybe it will, maybe it won't, but I'm just saying right now, if Bitcoin could do it with little to no value behind it, why can't something like QNT that's going to be leveraged at scale to interoperate with pretty much every single mass adopted asset out there in the DLT sector and everything that you see on the screen right now, why can't it be worth, these price targets of, $13 trillion or $14 trillion? It can. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys don't want free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. If you guys do want more content, you guys could definitely check out my website, NCashOfficial.com. But with that being said, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night, wherever you guys are. Just before this, Nick. Peace out, guys.